Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome later on in this podcast, not right now, but later on in the podcast, a Celtic warrior, or I should say a Celtic warrior, by the name of Conor McGregor. Before we do that, though, I have to say that, Brennan, you may be able to notice, first of all, that I have an Irish lilt, but more importantly, I've got a real sheen to my skin. I think you would agree that I look about 10 years younger, and do you know why?
Tell me.
Mind your P's and Q's. I just took some krill oil. It's racing through my veins. It's found its way to the surface of my skin. Do you know where I get my krill oil? Do you think that I get my krill oil from some krill guy? Some krill guy who goes and throws a net into the water?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're wrong. You would be wrong if you said that. My krill oil is sourced from the finest krill, under the finest and most stringent standards, and that's because I get my krill oil from onnit.com. I also have a number of other exercise equipments from there. I worked with my 24 kilogram kettlebell today, so if you're wondering why my hind section looks so popped out and round, it's because I spared no quarter when it came to working my glutes and my hams. How did I do that? With Onnit and their products. So, once again, I'll ask you, I'm 48. How old do I really look?
Every bit of 48.
You son of a bitch. That's because it's the lighting.
Onnit.com, ONNIT.com/fighter. Start today. Even if you want to look like my man, what are you? Irish Conor McGregor.
That's Scottish. So now, mind your P's and Q's. Your face looks incredibly shiny. What are you on right now, Onnit-wise?
Onnit-wise? Well, right now in the studio, I'm sweating the ass off.
Oh yeah, you sound like you've been eating that Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. I
sound like fat bastard from Austin Powers. Lucky Charms.
There's something crazily creepy about that. You're a big man. Do you know that I'm from Ireland?
Hey, I feel like Connor's going to listen to this and be very offended.
No, because I'm Irish. My father is from Dublin.
I'm Irish.
My father's
so
from
then
Dublin.
It's okay.
I hail from great Celtic warriors. I'm probably not. My people were probably cobblers. His people were, on the battlefield.
Can we continue your obsession with bigger people?
Yeah.
Now, when we walked in the studio, there was a man by the name of, what's his name, Ev?
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I've never heard of him, never seen him. Handsome dude.
Couldn't be more handsome. I looked him up. He's got some Samoan in him, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. He looks like Conan.
I think you would like some Samoan in you.
Oh, no. I've been exposed.
He looks like Conan, has a full set of hair on, a ponytail.
Yeah.
Now,
a full head, not a set.
No, I say set. No, I say set.
Why do you say set?
I would say set.
It doesn't make sense in the English language.
A set of hair, my man.
A set of hair?
Set.
When your hair can be set a certain way,
it's a set of hair.
A set of hair would be like a set of
it's the kids' lingo.
Knives.
It's the kids' lingo.
That's how it is, but I'm the kid, so.
Well, you're 50.
Man.
But let's just go back. I mean, you were on him. Your eyes were glued to him.
I looked at him like he was a hot chick.
It made me awkward, so I just avoided and went the other way.
I saw you do that.
I was like, oh,
not
God.
me. I took
Brian's literally like this, just cock gazing this dude.
First of all, there's looking at someone, and then there's drinking him in.
You drank him in.
I drank him in. I've always been fascinated with. That's how ultimately, if you ask me, I'd probably like to look, because I want to have that Samoan skin, the shoulders. He's 256. I looked him up, 6'3", with the goatee. He looks like a matador. He looks like a great Spanish swordsman.
Now, if for sure, I'm gonna try and stay in my lane here, but I like to venture out. Everyone knows that he's competing. That's tough for me to say. He's competing against Brock Lesnar for the world title in the WWE.
Yes, he is.
At WrestleMania.
WrestleMania? When is that?
It's March 23rd.
Oh, soon.
Very soon.
And
then where's Brock go from there? I bet Brock wins that. There's no way. You think they're gonna let this guy win?
But no, that doesn't make sense. It's like I just realized today's March 24th.
I believe Roman Reigns played in the NFL.
It's in like a month or so.
Yeah.
It's in LA. It's not in LA. It's in like Northern California. In like
I'm about to bother Brennan because I believe he played in the NFL.
That doesn't bother me. I don't know the guy. Why would that bother me?
Forged a career in professional
WrestleMania
football.
is the 29th.
Ooh, he played with the Minnesota Vikings and Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow.
Big dude, man.
Yeah.
So he just got done with football and said, "Forget this noise." Went over to WWE. I'm not mad at that.
No.
He's making, I'm sure decent money. How about, did you see the Mexican wrestler, world famous Mexican wrestler? What do they call him? Nacho Libres? That was a movie.
Lucha Libre?
Lucha Libres.
Lucha Libre.
So
What do they call him? Nacho Libre?
that's a movie. Jack Black.
That's a Jack Black movie.
That's offensive.
Extremely. Yeah.
Anyways, one of the most famous Mexican wrestlers, you can look it up. I found it on worldstarhiphop.com. But, they're doing their thing, the fake wrestling thing, going back and forth. And the guy did like a drop kick to his throat, and it collapsed his trachea. And he's bend over, he's on the ropes, and dies.
Damn.
Juan killed a guy. Straight
Crazy, right?
crazy, man. You see the video, and his face is just blue and white, and they don't know what to do. He's probably there for solid 2 minutes before anyone does anything.
Well, I was
They're like, man, he is really acting tonight. He is on it tonight. No, he's dead, Greg.
Thursday night in Minnesota. I'm performing halfway into my act. A guy in the second row of the show at a table goes into a full-blown grand mal seizure, seizes up, and I'd just been talking about being a hero and what to do in a situation, and he seizes up, and somebody goes, he's having a heart attack, and everybody in Minnesota just stopped. People got up, called his name, tried to help him, grabbed him, and I was like,
You did nothing.
I went like this. I go, is there a doctor in the house? Like in the middle of my act. Is there a doctor? No. Somebody comes over. He's a paramedic. I go, good. Did somebody call 911? And that's all I did. And now I come over and I'm watching, doing nothing. Have no idea what to do. No idea. But the paramedic is helping the guy out.
Did he live?
Yeah, he lived. They had a stretcher and they took him out. He didn't really know where he was and stuff. He was disoriented. But it was just, you're like in those situations, and I'm talking about what I do in a situation. Meanwhile, I have nothing. I almost said this. And I shut my mouth because I talked to the paramedic. I almost said, put a belt in his mouth so he doesn't swallow his tongue.
This is the worst idea ever.
I just heard that's what you do with it.
Oh my God.
And the guy goes, nah, that doesn't really happen. You just got to make sure it doesn't hit his head. Moron.
I wish you would have said that.
Yeah, but I'm the kind of guy that if you lifted the hood of your Porsche and you're like,
you're going to say something.
Well, I'm going to come in and go, did you check the spark plugs?
When I pulled up my Porsche, Brian just trying to relate to me. What I pull up, he goes, he has that like serious Al Borland look on his face. What do you leave this thing in first gear mainly? What? You cruise around LA in first gear mainly? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's an automatic, bro. So, yeah, Tiptronic. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
I just heard you say it. That Tiptronic though. Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you always get the Tiptronic package. I'm
the same way though. Like I was driving down PCH and there's these huge boats, and someone goes, "What are you doing out there fishing?" No way. They and I made something up just because I don't know. I do that all the time. You and I both do that all the time.
I used to on Rogan's podcast. I used to just pontificate and I just say a bunch of stuff.
Fans jump on you.
Well, because what I realized was, we're in the age of Google now. And Joe and I both got caught. We'd be talking, and we'd have our opinions we'd held for 15 years because somebody told it to us. And then all of a sudden, you'd get people go, excuse me, but that's actually not what happened, or that's not true. And you'd get all this evidence, and I would be like, I better be way careful about how I speak.
Well, yeah. I mean, they call you out on all the time. It's like the other day when Ev on one of the current events talking about the Florida Panthers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, they just won a Stanley Cup. Hockey's huge.
I heard you say that.
Hockey's huge up there. Well, I heard someone from Florida tell me that when I was in Florida. And then I relayed it on the podcast. And then
that's how we all do
people
it.
Are like, bro, first of all, they have the lowest attendance ever in the NHL. They've never won a Stanley Cup. For sure, stay in your lane.
That's how I just let it go. I got a couple tweets like, Evan, how we know you're the hockey.
I know. Why didn't you say anything?
How could you let him do that? Like, I liked his version of reality better.
It's so easy. It's so easy to do that. When I had heard that Chris Kyle had lied about, I guess, shooting looters in New Orleans, but then somebody tweeted me and said, "Listen, I don't know what the story is, but he said that was told. Somebody else said that about him, apparently, and that was in the book. I don't know. But there's more to the story. So when you just say something and you haven't read the book, you don't know anything, man, you are you're probably not doing the truth any justice.
That's a bad example because he put in his book that he was shooting looters in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, if you write the book,
yeah,
that's a little different.
That might be a little different.
You know what the thing is?
Semi-valid source.
You know what the thing is, and everyone can relate to this. When you see someone get in a fight, or you were in the fight, or like if you got in a fight and I was there,
100%.
and then like the next day, you kind of break it, you exaggerate a little, and then 3 years is down the line, and you're just like, dang man, like really what happened?
One dude was on horseback.
The guy went the guy went up to Bryan, punched Bryan. Bryan got mad. There's a scuffle. We broke it up. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
Span to 2 years later, oh bro, this dude was like 6'8", former world champ. Kicked Bryan in the head. Bryan dodged it, took him down, submitted him. I'm freaking out, man. I'm saying, back up, back up. Cops came, 9 News. It was crazy.
It's crazy. Then a whole gang came up. They were all riding horses. One guy had a Morning Star. Another guy could control the weather. And another guy had a bag of snakes, poisonous, one, started throwing them at us. Luckily, I had my knife. I started stabbing them in the fucking head as they were flying at me. It was really...
And then we're walking out the bar. Bam! Chuck Norris pulls up in a brand new Lamborghini. He goes, "Quick, get in!" I'm like, "Dang, this is crazy."
It was crazy. It was nuts. And then Chuck turned out not to be Chuck. Chuck took his mask,
and it was Charles Norris.
It was Charles Norris. Charles Norris is a notorious boy kisser. He holds you at gunpoint and just made out with me and Brendan.
No, just you. See,
I mean, just me.
This is where it gets exaggerated.
I'm sorry, I was exaggerating. Just me. I was like, I'll do it, I guess. He looks like Roman Reigns.
And instead of a black belt and everything, he's a white belt and everything.
Yeah.
Charles
Norris. I was going to say he took his mask off and it was Will Sasso, but you could never. Will's way bigger than Chuck Norris.
Will's enormous.
Yeah. Chuck Norris could hide in Will. I mean, he could.
It's messed up, man.
Will is a giant man. He's the white Samoan.
Will's large. Will came to my birthday party, and I felt bad because Will does the best impressions of anyone we know, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, I know.
But so my boy Tebow's there, Timmy's there for my birthday, and I tell him like, yeah, Sasso does the best impressions you've ever seen. He goes, really? He goes, ask him to do one. So I'm like, hey, yo, Sasso, do an impression. He's literally like balls deep in this calamari.
Yeah.
He's like destroying this calamari. I'm like, do an impression. He's like, okay. And then he's like, which one? And I'm like, I don't know, Al Pacino. And he goes, oh boy. And I was like, that's horrible.
It was the only impression.
And then you did it, and it was way better.
It was the only impression where it wasn't really working in that circumstance. Like, Will is truly the best.
The best. He's so good at it.
And I was like, that's not I don't hear Al Pacino in that, maybe because you don't look like him, and I don't care.
I told Tim, I go, he's just off. He's usually
He
better.
did a good De Niro, but even then, he's like, what do you want?
And then he's like, He does the face.
Yeah.
Your Pacino is better. Let's hear your Pacino.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah.
Is that it? But is it, all you do is that?
I gotta think about it. I haven't done it. She got a big ass.
It's creepy, Pacino.
Yeah.
She's got a big ass.
She got a big ass.
Oh, boy.
I'd have to hear him. I can do any impression if I hear it.
You just need to hear it once?
Yeah, I just need to hear it once. You got to get what is it? What is he saying? It's like Conor McGregor.
What if we had Al Pacino run like it was like Al Pacino's our Dr. Drew on Creep Line? Brendan Schaub,
so
Bryan the Kid Callen, and Al Pacino and Morgan Freeman on Creep Line.
By the way, we are going to have Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
They're confirmed.
They're confirmed, so they're going to be guests. We're going to have both of them on. And I'm excited about
it. Oh, boy!
I'm just doing Will Sasso doing...
Me
Al
too.
Pacino.
I'm just doing Will Sasso.
Yeah.
You're
not good at impressions.
I'm good at some of them.
You're a straight-up white belt, and I think you'll always be one.
You think?
Yeah.
No, some of them are
Now you say there's nothing I can do to beat Ronda Rousey in jiu-jitsu no matter how long I train?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're there with impressions.
Well, I'll never beat your impressions. That's your job.
You're just not
That's
good
your job, though. That's your job.
I don't think you'll beat anybody. It's not your talent.
What about my DJ voice? Hey, it's Bryan, the Kid Callen. Come on down to KQRS.
That's actually good.
Yeah, fuck you.
That is good.
Yeah, you're damn right. It's
all right. Let's see you do.
I have to hear it though. I'm just like you. I have to hear it, and then I can do one.
So, do Chris Walken say hey, Conor McGregor, you fight kung fu. You're my friend, but you fuck around. I'll take you out.
I'll take you out. Say, hey.
Make your voice more, hoarse, deeper.
I have a
There it is.
big
Deeper.
dick.
Don't talk so loud. Act like your lips are chapped.
Give me another guy.
No. Conor McGregor, and I got a job. I got a job for you. You won't say no. I need you to rob a bank. Take your clothes off.
Wait, is this Morgan Freeman or who's that?
Well, it's
Lost me
Chris.
there. Well, no, earlier it was good. You lost it a little bit.
No, I brought it down.
I do a better Arnold than you.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, do it! Do it now! Kill me! Come on, do it! Do it now!
Kill me!
Do it.
Kill me! Do it now! Kill me! I have to eat carrots.
Who won?
I eat carrots so I can grow.
Come on, do it! Do it now!
I need supplements.
Give me something from Terminator.
I need supplements. I need supplements to get stronger. I have to shoot Terminator 5. Go
That's
ahead,
a terrible Arnold.
I don't know about
You're
that.
not
I think Brendan's got the edge right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Oh, you do this professionally.
me?
Oh, that's cool. Let's
Hold on.
Come on, do it! Do it now! Kill me!
Oh, kill me! Kill me! Do it now! That's how you're doing it.
Yo, get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper now! Come on, get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
No.
I think he won get to the chopper, but
course I
you
did.
overall.
I won.
stole-
Come on, do it now!
You give us a phrase and I'll do it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
You sounded like Christopher Walken, and I don't know what you sounded like.
If it
Neither
bleeds,
of those were Arnold.
if it bleeds,
Your Morgan Freeman's the best one to do.
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
It's not a Duma.
Oh, there we go.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a Duma.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
It's not a Duma.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
Yeah, not good, Brian. You're just not good at that.
Shit.
Oh, but this
I'm
is your
better than
job,
you.
right? That's
I'm a little
cool.
better than you, dude.
Yeah, no. Not your Arnold.
I think I'm better. Stop smiling at me. That huge
I
smile.
love it.
No, I won that.
No, they said.
Fans, seriously, who's better?
At Arnold? 100% me.
No, you're not good.
Everyone else you beat me. What else you got? What else
It's
you
very
got?
obvious. There's
Give
no
me another
subtlety
one.
to it.
Very obvious. Arnold's very obvious. That's why
give us somebody else, Evan.
All right,
I have to hear.
If it bleeds, we kill it. The part. Oh, we didn't do I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Oh, okay, ready? Try it again.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Callen.
Really?
Of course, Callen.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Schaub.
Oh, easy. What are you talking about, dude?
Get the fuck out of here.
You sound like a Jamaican hasta la vista, baby.
No,
That's what you did.
hasta la vista, baby.
No, it's just not good.
Hasta la vista,
Nope,
baby.
it's too late. Won that
Try it again, motherfucker.
Hasta la vista, baby. Nope, that was
That's
bad.
not how he said it, bro. Fucking, all right, let's find it on YouTube right now. Hasta la vista, baby.
What else you got?
Find it.
Hasta la vista.
Give us a different one. What?
I already had the YouTube clip lined up right here.
Hit it.
Hasta la vista, baby. I can't do it at all. I know that though.
Here it is. Let's hear it.
That's a commercial.
No.
Hey, everyone on the podcast, listen to our 15-second pre-roll from YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This terrible idea, Brian. You kind of killed the bit too. Well,
I'm going to find it.
yeah.
Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista, baby. All right, what else? Give me something else.
We've ran through like 20 quotes so far.
Yeah, man, you lost. Just get over it.
didn't lose.
You lost Arnold.
Wait, he's got
Oh,
something else.
we'll do one last one, Terminator. Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Oh.
Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Give me your clothes. Hold on.
What is this?
You're walking Schwarzenegger.
Hold on. Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
It's a Russian. Schaub one.
You're out of your mind.
No, I was just saying do yours again.
I gotta make my throat a little gargle up.
Me too.
What was it again?
Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Okay, he doesn't say your.
If you
okay?
if you can't beat that, you should just quit your job because that's the
Well,
that
his
was
is
the
yeah.
that was
bad. That was bad.
Schwarzenegger.
Let me give me one more.
Give me your clothes. Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
That's a Russian.
It
That's a
wasn't
Russian
great, but it was
mob.
better than yours.
Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
What are you doing?
That's me doing. That's me doing Brendan Schaub doing Arnold Schwarzenegger. Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Hey,
I'm not important, you guys. You guys better be serious. I'm a fucking Terminator. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm serious. I'm serious. Give me your clothes.
How mad is Callen that I beat him at this?
I'm furious.
How mad is he?
I'm hot on.
You get paid to do this, huh?
Blood red mad.
That's crazy.
As Will Sassy would say, hashtag BRM, blood red mad.
I'd be upset too.
I'll do other characters if you want.
No, I think
We have a sing contest.
I think we're good.
I want to get you to learn how to sing a little bit. And I will always love you. That's pretty impressive. That's moving, dude. That I can go that high.
She's definitely a better singer than you.
100% better singer.
Yeah, but that's saying nothing because I'm not a good singer.
Neither one of us are good
God,
singers.
terrible singer. When you really try, like anything else, it's a muscle.
Can we kick off some creep line?
Yeah. Creep line. It's time for creep line.
Kay, I know you got an interesting creep line story for us.
You know what's even creepier? If you hear this behind a closed door that has somebody having sex, watch. Sorry.
People are getting behind creep line. I just got a tweet. For sure, make creep line a new thing. A hashtag fan creep tweets.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what we should have tweeted today.
It's the new
Creep
jam.
line stories.
Send us your creep lines.
Give us Special K is going to give us her creep line story.
This better be a good creep story.
No, don't put any pressure on her.
There's no pressure. It's a story.
All right, just relax.
Pressure is you doing a shitty Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
All right, carry on.
No.
So when
Come on, do it, Kelly. Do it, Special K. Do it.
When I was in high school, there was this guy. He was like 400 pounds overweight, and we had mutual friends, and I found out that he used to have a pillow and put pictures all over his pillow of me and used to like jack off on it.
Oh,
wow.
No.
Well, he's the captain of creep line.
I guess he is the captain of creep line.
Yeah, and I
Just
found
a-
out.
How
and
did
then
you find
told
out?
me.
How did you find out?
He told his friends. He was like, "Oh, last night," and like showing his friends a picture of the pillow.
I wonder what it sounded like.
No, so gross. I can't. But I still see him all the time.
Why do you still see? Is he still 400 pounds?
No, he's just
300?
a little. Yeah. Like
Good for him.
Stella got eyes for you.
How did you react to that?
I was like, that's really disgusting. Literally said
Did it turn you on a little bit? In a
No.
sick
At
way?
all? Not at all. What if he
No.
was handsome? What if he was like in shape?
No.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you need to do, and don't tell anybody about that.
It's weird you tell your friends about that. Like, even if I did that, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, like,
I wouldn't be like, hey, Bryan, things got wild last night, my man. I taped a bunch of pictures of that chick that works at Hooters, jacked off on the pillow.
Right. Just pictures of her face.
Just pictures of her face, jacked off on the pillow.
Here you go.
And then went to sleep.
Ew.
First of all, if you told me that, I'd be like, well, you're a creep, and you're not my friend.
No kidding. Time to glaze your virtual face. I'm heavy as shit. I can't even see my dick. My belly's so big, but whatever. I know it's in there because I can feel it. Here it comes. I wonder what that was like. Oh, sorry.
That's a good start to a creep line, though.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
God, I never forgot this guy I was talking to in a park. I had my dog there, and I was in sweatpants, and I kept looking at my dong. He kept drifting down, and he's just asking me questions. He was clearly like a dude with nowhere to live, and he's just sitting there. But he was young. He was like 30 with messed up hair, like just clearly a man raper. And I was like, damn. And he's like, and finally he goes like this. He goes, man, now you got kids? And he looks right at my dick. He goes, you got kids? And I go, not yet. And he goes, what you waiting for? Just kidding. And he get right back to my dick. I had a pit bull. I held that dog tight. I was like, this dog will bite you, bro. Probably wouldn't, but I was like, man, stop looking at me. And he was bigger than me. I was like, I'm going to have to fight this guy. It's going to suck. I hope he's not trained. What are you waiting for? I'm just kidding. Like,
What do you think you would have done with you?
definitely just woofed my dong down. And, I have another one.
Guzzled that dick.
Guzzled it. How about this? I swear to God, this There was a.
We're never hitting mainstream because all we talk about is Dave.
Yeah, never. Here's another creep story. I'm in acting class, and I'd known this guy for a good long time. He was very. He was a drag queen. I swear to God, he looks at me. He goes like this. He goes. I'll put your dick and your balls in my mouth. I swear to God, I'll put your dick and my balls in my mouth. No problem. I'll fit the whole fucking thing in my mouth like this. And he went like this. Ah, and I went. Ah! I was like, I acted cool. I was like, there it is, man. There it is. I said some shit like, there it is.
Just an awkward exit. There you go, bro. That's your thing.
There you go. There it is. Get me the fuck out of here right now. I've actually never been the same since that. Never been the same. I'll put your dick and your balls in my mouth. I swear to God, I'll put your dick in your mouth.
Cool, bro.
Hey, bro, that's not an accomplishment. That's not something I put on my to-do list, so thank you so much.
Leave that off your resume.
Yeah, 100% no, but thank you. Don't trust you. You're such a crazy man. You might bite the whole thing off.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I don't have any creepy stories like that.
Yeah, I got 1,000.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why they're so great. I don't have any. No one tried molesting you as a kid, Ev?
No.
I gotta be honest with you, man. When you're young, you're smaller, I feel like they would go after you.
No one tried. Well,
and because you're not introverted, but you're not like super outgoing. So maybe they go after the kids who they know won't tell anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you'd keep it in. You know, like you don't get to tell anyone.
Oh, I'd snap and kill someone. Like
when you got older,
yeah.
There was a guy in New York.
Someone tried to kidnap me, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
In a bus?
I was like really young. I was like 7 years old, and I was outside.
Terrifying.
And a guy pulls up, rolls down the windows, and pulls out some like toys and candy and shit.
Yeah, they get
like,
you every time.
You interested? I'm like, are those candy and toys I see? Yes, I'm 7 years old and interested. And my brother just ran out. He's like, Evan, get the fuck away from that. I'm like,
they
do have puppies and stuff too.
I would probably be still hogtied in someone's basement.
Sex slave. You'd be a gimp.
Yeah.
The bearded gimp.
That's the kind of guy. See, like when you ask me who I'd like to kill, like who I'd really enjoy killing, those are the kind of guys. Like I would love to kill dudes like that prey on children. Like I would like it. Like I'd sleep well at night.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
100%.
I'm not a mean person, but
Killer Callen.
Someone like that. Yeah, Killer Callen. Someone like that, I could definitely.
Oh, I would love it. I would take that fucker out with my bare hands. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let me do it. I would do it.
What's weird? I remember when I was in elementary school. There's flyers going around that there's a white van with tinted windows going around taking kids.
Damn.
With candy. I mean, that is the perfect recipe.
As a parent,
as a kid, I love candy. Now, if you had one of those big ass jawbreakers and a set of Ninja Turtles, I'm gonna get in that van.
I know.
I'm gonna get right in that van. If you had that Master Splinter that I was looking for to complete the collection, I'm gonna jump in your van. Forget the candy.
Yep. That's the thing.
Is it that big of a problem today, or no? Kids are more educated today, right?
It's still
I don't know. I definitely
problem.
feel like I was, raised by pretty good parents who told me don't fuck around with strangers. Definitely don't get in any stranger's car. And I bet it didn't even cross my mind not to go and.
Well, people like that make
it
their job. So this woman was in, I think, a Walmart or something, or Kmart. Her daughter disappears right away. She goes, what the fuck? She goes right to the security. They shut down, they closed down the entire department store. Found that kid in the bathroom with a shaved head and different clothes on.
Damn.
Yeah. So those kind of people make it their job. And all I want.
How scary is that?
If you gave me one superpower, it would just be to be able to find those guys, like just to smell child killers or whatever those are, and then just give me a special way to kill them without anybody finding out. They just would die, and I just go around the country doing that.
So you want to be a superhero?
Just a killer. I want to kill anybody.
We're gonna
who
need to
hurts
get
children.
you on some sort of supplements.
Well,
because you need your ass whipped.
Nah, I got a lot of tricks, bro.
So do they.
They do.
They might shave your head and grease you up.
I don't
you go in there to kill him.
Okay, no problem.
Is it your biggest fear as a parent? I would assume
it's any parent's biggest fear is it's a life ender.
But it's
a life ender.
You'd never be the same.
No.
But in Calabasas,
you don't know what they're doing to your child. If the child disappears like that, it's you gotta
think the worst.
There are things in life. There are the unbearable. Some things are unbearable. My best friend said something to me. There was a guy, and it was too young to understand. This guy lost his wife. She got hit by a cab, and he was such a mess over it. He'd been with her for 30 years. And I said to him, because I'd heard it somewhere, I go, you never lose somebody. They always say you don't lose somebody you only lose somebody if you stop loving them. And he said, "Have a good day." That's all he said. And I walked
that didn't
away.
help him at
Fuck no.
all.
I walked away, and my buddy Jimmy Burke said, "Hey, something you should know." He's 5 years older. He goes, "There's something called inconsolable grief. That's it." And he's inconsolable right now. And it's okay, but there's nothing you can do to help. I wanted to help him. And
There's
say
nothing
something.
you
You
can
can't
do,
do
yeah.
shit.
Isn't it weird? Like you can't. There's no scale. There's nothing that can kind of put a numerical value on heartbreak.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing.
Well,
you can do.
that's a really good point because you bring up, listen, there are a lot of things like that in life. It's kind of like one of the things if you religious people will always talk about God in those terms. Like so much of what we consider reality is things we can measure with our eye, with our ear, and with an instrument. So if you think about whatever it might
That's
be.
where science comes into
Sure.
play. But heartbreak, you really can't.
Right. Love, heartbreak, those kinds of things, those the wondrous things in the world, the things that you can't put a finger on. Even the concept of infinity, which mathematicians use all the time, is not something you can really actually imagine. You can imagine it, but you certainly can't measure it. And that's an important part of reality.
There was this, I'm not going to say his name, but there was this doctor. He was like the doctor for the Fighters in Colorado. And he had a wife, 3 kids. They're in I don't know what kind of manufacturer the car was, probably a Volvo, whatever. And they're driving from Wyoming back to Denver. Like I said, he was the doctor of all of us. We worked with him nonstop. Great guy, always smiling, always super, outgoing, a guy you want to be around. He's a guy, during fight time, it's stressful. This is when I was doing Ring of Fire, so smaller shows, but he's just the doctor. I go, "What's up, doc?" Kids, beautiful kids, wife. So he's driving back from Wyoming to Denver. And there's a warning for a flash flood. And they tell him not to. This is what I was told. This isn't from him. This is why. So if I mess up some of the details, don't jump on me. But you'll get the bottom line here. So he drives from Wyoming to Denver. They warn him about a flash flood. He decides to drive anyways. His car's going, and there's a huge flood going through this bridge, and he thought if he went fast enough he could get over it. Well, he goes and the car tumbles, goes upside down. He's the only one that lived. Damn. Everyone else died. His wife, 3 kids. It was like 3-year-old, 2-year-old, and a newborn baby. His whole entire world dies.
Yeah.
So probably 2 months later, they go, "Hey, we're doing this fundraiser, raise money, raise money for him, help him out, stuff like that." So myself, Shane Carwin, Elliot Marshall, Nate Marquardt, and Cody Domin go and sign all this stuff to help raise money, for the guy and his family. And I remember seeing him, and I remember just looking at him. You could just tell it was like, I don't know how to do it. I just remember being like, there's nothing I can say. There's nothing anyone in this. There's tons of people around. There's nothing we can do to help this situation. You really can't.
No.
And I just remember think if you could feel the way his heart feels. I just remember being I was signing stuff. I just remember staring at him, just taking him in, just being like, dang, that dude's heart must be fucking destroyed. Does it ever get better? Maybe down the road, but wife, 3 kids.
Well, the way I look at it is my buddy lost his brother in 9/11, and he turned it into a huge charity. So he created this whole event around it where he said, "My brother lost his life. It's going to mean something." So now he raises money for kids who are underprivileged to go to college.
I get that stuff.
It doesn't necessarily make your pain go away.
It doesn't.
But at least he said, "I got to do something with this grief, and it's going to motivate me to do something positive." What they say is you don't lose the grief, but you learn how to live with it. That's what they say. With that kind of grief, they say you'll never lose it, but you'll learn to live with it. I said, I told the story on Rogan's podcast. I don't know if you were there, but it was really kind of fascinating. Morse code. You know what Morse code is?
Yeah.
So Morse was the biggest breakthrough in communication history was Morse code, not the internet. Why? Because before Morse code, and I think it was 1840, you could only get a message to somebody by boat, foot, horseback,
like birds,
carrier pigeon, but really it was one route,
reliable.
But for the most part, those were the only, and that was true from the beginning of time up until from Alexander the Great, George Washington, and all the way up into the 1800s in the United States. So this guy Morse, really famous painter, really famous oil painter in the United States and actually in Europe as well. He gets a message from somebody. A horse guy comes out and says, "Listen, your wife is sick." And he was in Connecticut. He had to get up to upstate New York. "Your wife is sick. Come and see her." By the time he got there, he loved his wife. By the time he got up there, not only was she dead, she'd been buried. They buried her. He never even got a chance to say goodbye to her. He was so grief-stricken. He said, "There's got to be a way." And this is a painter. He goes, "There's got to be a way I can get a message to somebody faster." He's on a boat 7 years later. There's this dude working with electromagnetic fields. He meets him, this physicist. He says, he starts talking to him. And Morse, he was a painter, but he was also like a tinkerer, kind of like he was good with mechanics and stuff, and an inventor. And he goes, "Why don't we come up with a way to to get a signal to somebody?" Long story short, because he was so distraught and wanted so badly to get a message faster than you would with horse, boat, or foot, he and this inventor, it was his idea and his energy that actually invented Morse code. And when they finally did, I think they sent a signal across like 12 miles or 12, whatever it was. It was the biggest breakthrough in history of communication. And we never looked back, of course. And then we had the telegram and that changed.
Yeah, the whole history of communication.
Yeah. Still doesn't make it,
Yeah, that still doesn't make the grieving process any easier. But a lot of time, those ideas like those come from frustration.
100%.
And it takes super creative minds and motivated people. Where if these negative things didn't happen, some of the stuff would never come about.
That's right.
It's like I was listening to a podcast with the owner of Virgin Records and Virgin Airlines. What's his name?
Richard Branson.
Yeah, Richard Branson. And the way he started an airline, obviously it's a little different. The guy's a jagillionaire, Scrooge McDuck, living on an island. But he was flying in England, and he just got bumped off his flight. He was like flying United or some shit, or British Airways. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, your flight's late, and we can't get you on the next one. You're just off." And he's like, "Well, there has to be something you can do." And there's people behind him like, "Dude, we got bumped off our flight. We have this. My daughter's giving birth tomorrow. I have to be there." And he was literally like, the airline was like, "Sorry, what are you gonna do about it? Sorry." And he's like, "Fuck this, man. Got it. Obviously, this is different, so a lot of people can't relate to this. Got a private plane, chartered all those people, got them to their destination. It's like, I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm gonna start my own airline. I'm not gonna put up with their shit anymore." Wow. Started his own airline, Virgin.
Yeah, great airline, by the way.
My favorite,
no doubt.
And that's how it got started.
Yeah,
by just frustration of the airlines always screwing him over,
and
him not being able to do it. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's kind of like a war. In war, there were a great deal of inventions that came out of wartime. As bad as war is, I mean, preservation of food, all kinds of things, So it was crazy. So that's the thing to keep in mind, at least for an individual. If you're going through a hard time, look at what you can gain from it, and look at how you can react. You can react two ways. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it motivate you to come up with a better way.
We were talking about this. It's kind of switching gears. We were talking about this before we came in. I always tell you, whenever I have an issue with someone, I hate when someone's upset at me or if they don't like me.
Yes.
Someone that I know, not people on the internet or fans. That's what. That doesn't
someone
matter.
You work
someone
with,
that I work with, or I have a personal relationship with, or somewhere down the road. It's always weird to me because I want to right away be like, let's just get face to face. Let's talk about this. Mm-hmm. What is your deal? What is your deal? Because I guarantee there's been some sort of, it's like telephone. When you're a kid, when you play telephone, somewhere down the line, things got out of control and you didn't hear it from the horse's mouth. So let's talk. It's tough, man.
I'm so much that way. I can't stand it. I can't stand like that heavy energy.
I'm having that right now.
Yeah, that heavy energy where somebody has the wrong impression of you or they don't like you and it's like.
It's so far off.
It's just unfair, man. It's like, you have the wrong idea of who I am.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. I think about that too, like if you talk to older people or just my experiences in general. This is Fighting the Kids serious edition, but when you look at people and you think about all the people you met in your life, girlfriends that you've cared about, girlfriends that I lived together with for 4 years that I don't even talk to anymore. Yeah. They know me better than probably 99% of the people out there besides my family. Don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
It is weird.
Isn't that weird?
It's really weird. I also wonder where that love goes, too. Isn't it funny?
I don't think it ever goes away.
No?
I don't think it ever goes away. I don't. I think if you love someone, no matter, granted, unless, even if they cheat on you, which that's not my case, but that love is never going to go away.
Yeah.
You put it towards something else, but you're still always going to love that person.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think you're
I
right.
don't
When you
think it
see
ever
them,
goes
you
away.
have deep affection or
Always,
fondness.
man.
Or
It's like you and I could go 2 years without seeing each other, and when we see each other, we just pick right back up.
no doubt. That's for sure. With my close buddy,
Can go-
guy friends,
yeah.
no question.
I've like my friends,
Yeah.
Joe Kloffenstein, Cody Donovan, Tim.
Yeah, people you share
me and
experiences
Tim
with.
won't talk for maybe 2 months. I'll see him, and it's just like we've been together every day.
Yeah.
It's just different, man.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
true.
it weird?
It is. I think you're right. That makes sense. It never goes away, really, in one way.
I don't think it ever goes away. Anyone who says that is fooling themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to get back together when you see them. I'm just saying that's never going to go away.
You have
But
a fondness
but
and
it's just
kinship,
weird to me. Like I think about my friend Joey Schnagle, who was basically like my brother growing up. We spent every single day for 12 years together. I don't talk to him anymore.
You know why though? That can be just there's a lack of relevance to your lives.
I agree.
You just don't have the same interest. There's no reason. There's nothing much to talk about besides memories because you're not sharing the same interests. You're not even in the same endeavors. You're not even actually going after the same thing.
I agree. You're both in a lane, and it's like it goes
Yeah.
this way. It's hard to get back to the middle. But with girls and girlfriends, I feel like it's different. All right, we didn't work out. I don't get why we can't still be friends. I still support
It's
you.
too emotional, probably. Like I was thinking about you ever think about the through line between why friends are friends? Like you and I bond on the idea that we're never satisfied.
Yeah.
It's like no matter how successful this podcast is, it's always like, yeah, I know, but it's the last thing I'm thinking about. It's like, how do we make it? Every day's a challenge. How do we make it interesting? How do
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I called you yesterday when we sold out of our shirts in 8 minutes.
By the way, we should apologize. I mean, not apologize. Say, guys, we'll have more shirts.
We're restocking in 2 weeks, and guess what? Next week we're restocking Abbott Kinney Fight Club, the original grays. You know you love them, and the I think you'd be surprised shirts.
Yeah.
Our two biggest sellers are restocked in the shop next week. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram for what day specifically and what time. Callen will tweet out too, and he'll probably tweet the wrong website as well. So you can bank on that.
Dude, take it down.
Oh, it frustrated me.
yesterday.
But so when we sell out in 8 minutes, this is my example.
8 minutes. We sold
I call Callen.
500 shirts
He goes,
in 8
dude,
minutes."
this is crazy. That's crazy. We fucked up, man. You go, why are we fucked up, man? We should have ordered way more. We should be doing this. And then once I start getting, that's in the past. It literally just happened. You and I are talking about what's next,
I know. 8 minutes. Now, I have to be honest with you. That's the craziest thing. Like I was just shocked that it went that fast. That's a lot of shirts.
It's all shirts. I was frustrated, man.
So anyway, well, we're
So don't freak out if you didn't get one. We're restocking in 2 weeks, and like I said, Abbott Kinney and the I think you'd be surprised, our two biggest sellers are coming up. Speaking of big sellers,
Little spitball.
speaking of the biggest draw in the UFC, we got Conor McGregor coming in studio.
I'm excited to talk to Conor McGregor. He's coming up next after these messages.
Now you know me, I don't. You and I run this ship 50-50.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't like to have fighters on. Tito's good. He's an old school guy, experience, great story.
Yep.
He's a legend.
Yep.
But in general, I don't get.
It's not inspiring to you.
It's not inspiring
a mystery
me.
to you.
No, it's not. It's same with like when we have actors or whatever on for you. You don't care.
No.
That's how I feel. But there's one guy, and this is how special Conor is he's a guy where you want to hear him. You want to hear him talk. And I'll talk about it before he comes on and I'll bring it up to Conor, but he came on the scene so fast and got so much attention, and all these fighters like, oh, forget this guy, blah, blah. That's just jealousy. I was a victim of it. I'm like, dude, what? This little 145er coming to town, like, think he's running the show. What's this guy's deal? He's getting all this attention. Dana's hyping him up. It's like, dude, get the hell out of here. He's beating guys left and right. I think every UFC fighter, whether they admit it or not, was a little bit jealous of him.
Yeah.
And then, you hear him talk, like, God, this guy's cocky. I can't stand this guy. Then we're both in Venice Beach, and he has something about him. He has it. It's rare you find it in an athlete.
Charisma.
He has it. He's genuine. He's a genuinely good person.
Yep.
Like, I met him my way. I'm like, I get it, man.
Just a good guy.
And I told him, I said, I got your back. Now I'm on your side, man.
I remember you called me and told me that.
Called you right away. I was like,
Yep.
well, no, I will.
He's the real deal.
He's the real deal, man.
Yeah.
He's a dude you meet and just like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I like him.
I'm excited to have him on.
Can't wait to kiss his
Conor
ass.
McGregor coming up.
These messages.
Get them Irish balls in your mouth.
Let me get my mouth ready. We got for my money, the most exciting fighter in the UFC, who's cutting a very sharp profile, not a hair out of place, despite the fact that he's been up since 6 a.m. on a press tour. Conor McGregor, you were just talking about what you said to Jose Aldo when you jumped out of the ring. You were in his face. What was that word again?
I said my country's name in its native tongue, which is Era.
I'm producing estrogen. I'm going to change my middle name.
Yeah. Did you think he was going to retaliate? Did you think he was going to do something? You knew, it's really not in his nature, right?
I wasn't really thinking, to be honest. You know, as I'm sure you experience in there, the adrenaline takes over. You just roll with it. There was an energy inside that octagon. The whole week in Boston was electric, with the New England Patriots also victorious. So the city was on fire, and it all culminated inside that octagon on that night. And when the finish happened, I wanted to just jump over and throw that electricity through his chest like a lightning bolt. So that was all it was, and I was just going off of adrenaline.
For Jose, you know, he's been champ for quite some time.
7 years almost.
He should pay you royalties from here on out, because now everyone wants to see Jose fight. Because a guy like you came along, you're the best thing that ever happened to him. Would you agree with that?
It's the McGregor division, make no mistake about it. It's before me, they were prelims. Every single featherweight was a prelim. Now, even the 7 to 10 guys are getting main event slots, you know, so
it's true.
They should all pay me royalties.
But Conor, look, let's be honest. You were a national champion as a boxer, but this is the UFC. I just saw a guy who just came out of nowhere and had so much self-belief. Where did this come from? What do you say to yourself when you wake up every morning?
I don't know. My self-belief comes from my work ethic, my focus on the game, my ability to...
A lot of guys work like that, though.
Yeah, but they think they do. A lot of people wake up, they make their way to where they have to go. They exercise, they leave the gym and it's done. Maybe they might go back and it's done again. But for me, I wake up, I drink water, I stretch, I begin freeing the frame and just be loosening my body. I don't have distractions. If it does not involve the fight business, it does not involve me. I always hear people, they have their extra curricular activities, I suppose, or they like to go and do this to unwind, or they like to go and do this to unwind. The only thing I like to do to unwind is count my profits from the fight business, and then when the profits have been counted, I am back on my business.
When, though, did you say, look, come on, there's got to be a moment when you said, this is it. I'm no longer just a boxer. I'm no longer a guy fighting in these small things. I'm going to be the greatest 145-pounder in the world. There had to have been a moment. I don't know if it was in training. What was the moment when you said, no more bullshit, I'm coming after this thing, and I'm going to tell the world about it?
You know, there's many ups and downs in the fight game. There's many times you have these conversations where you want to do it, you don't want to do it. But I think for me was when I originally signed with the UFC. I was already a 2-weight world champion in my previous organization. I held a featherweight belt and I held a lightweight belt. But as you know, outside of the UFC, it is not financially secure. So I was unsure of what to do. And a long-time teammate of mine had got some bad news from too many wars inside the octagon. So, you know, I sat back, and the UFC had not called at this stage, but I had 2 gold belts wrapped around my waist, and I was thinking, I don't think I want to do this, you know. Maybe this is not for me. If this happened to my friend who came up with me in the game, and now he cannot compete anymore, and he is UFC caliber also, but he never got his opportunity. So I sat back, and I had essentially walked away from the sport, and I was out of the gym for maybe 3-4 weeks, which is, I am never out of the gym for 3 to 4 weeks. And then I was sitting in my friend's car at one stage, and the phone rang. It was from Iceland. My coach John Kavanagh was in Iceland with my teammate Gunnar, who was preparing to fight. And it rang, and I did not want to answer because I had not been in the gym in 4 weeks, and I coached the boxing class in the gym. So for every Tuesday for them 4 weeks, I was missing, and I just didn't text anyone, didn't show up. I was just done. I was gone. And the phone kept ringing and ringing, and my friend in the car said, just answer the thing. I says, I'm not answering the thing because it's going to be a fight. We're going to be arguing over something. So I'm just going to leave it and just forget about it. So it kept ringing, so I said, I will answer it. how do you feel about making your UFC debut in 9 weeks in Sweden? And then I put the phone down, and I just said, I just had a long conversation with myself and said, some people's journeys are meant to go some people's journeys are meant to go other ways, but this is my destiny now. And that's when I said, I will give this everything. And
So you feel guided.
yeah,
Because I hear you. That's the feeling I get all the time. Like, this is your destiny. Nothing is going to stop you. You're in a division with killers, and yet I've heard you say this is just a battle on the way to winning the war.
there it is a division full of sharks, but I am the whale. So
Okay, so here's my second question. You're an Irishman. The Irish have always been known as people who are not boastful, and they're not even like to be Irish is to be tough and quiet about your business, which you are as a fighter. However, you've taken a page out of Muhammad Ali's book. That's in a lot of ways, very un-Irish. So you've always been, it feels like a maverick, regardless of your culture, which can be very powerful. Can you speak to that? Like
Is that true, Connor? Or is he making that shit up? Is that true?
I mean, everywhere you go, there is people who are quiet and go about their business, and there are people who are loud and go about their business. But in Ireland, we speak our mind. There is not if you ask us something, we will speak our mind and speak it truthfully. If it is the truth, it is the truth, and that is it. If people cannot handle it, that is not my problem. The truth is the truth, and I will speak it.
Mm.
I think a lot of people would be surprised. Is your first coach, John, he's a black belt, correct, in jiu-jitsu?
He's the first black belt in Ireland.
Really? In jiu-jitsu
in
history,
jiu-jitsu,
right?
yeah.
As far as Ireland goes.
Yeah.
So your first coach has a jiu-jitsu background. A lot of people, when they talk about a knock on Connor, which we haven't really seen, especially in the UFC, is if someone takes you down and they're able to use grappling.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is you have a background, and your coach obviously is the first black belt in Ireland. So I always say this: I think you'd be surprised when it goes to the ground. So if Jose does get you down, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue as everyone says. But the naysayers are going to say, well, he does have 2 previous losses by submission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As you know, in the jiu-jitsu game, it's a learning experience. It's a forever a learning game, jiu-jitsu is. And it has been a long road of me learning this craft and truly understanding the fine art of grappling, the beautiful art of grappling. Now I'm currently a brown belt under my coach, John Kavanagh. I have put countless hours upon hours in the mat, and I am comfortable anywhere.
Yeah, I assume that. You don't get to your level without being comfortable everywhere.
Well, you also are so used to being a champion in these 2 other divisions, as you said. So it feels like a natural fit. Your childhood. I saw an interview with you. It looks like you're close to your parents. Certainly your dad was in the audience. I think your mother was as well. So it looks like you came up with a pretty supportive family, which a lot of fighters is actually the opposite. I've always noticed. Talk a little bit about. I've always wondered if it was this guy, because you're so ferocious in there. I always wonder, is he settling scores? Was he a small kid, and did he get bullied in a tough town, and then decided one day enough is enough?
I was definitely in a tough town, but bullying, I was not bullied, but fights would often happen. If you're walking down the street and there's a group of people, next thing you know, a fight is breaking out. This is where I come from, and this is from a really young age. So that's how I ended up getting into the game. That's how most young men enter combat sport is self-defense, and I was no different. It was part of culture in Ireland. You must be able to defend yourself. You must be able to fight. For me, it became an obsession.
And do you feel like you're fighting for your family, to provide for your family, everyone back at home?
Of course, financial security. This is prize fighting. 100%. I am here for the gold and the cash. Make no mistake about it.
Well, I was going to say, those threads are not cheap. I always thought you dressed well, Big Brown. But my boy over here,
I'm going to give it to him.
Dude.
You're dude. You might be the best dressed. I'll give it to him.
Polished and since 6. It's what time is it now? Something like 3. Not mad.
I'm not mad at the style, my man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll
man.
give it to you.
You've really figured out a way to make yourself the most exciting fighter in a sport where fighting is. It's such a difficult thing to begin with. And the training is so demanding, obviously, especially in mixed martial arts. But then, at the same time, to be able to maintain a media presence like you've done must be exhausting. But it's part of the game, right?
100%. It is part of the game, but as I said to you before we went on air, work pays, and that is it. For me, I take this like I take everything else. It is a discipline in itself. There is boxing, there is wrestling, there is jiu-jitsu, there is karate, there is media.
Yep.
The media obligations can crush an athlete, can crush a fighter, especially when you add in cutting weight, especially when you add in everything. And that's what people don't get when they fight me. When you sign to fight me, it's a completely different ball game. You're taken away from your family. You're flown all over the world to do all kind of press. You know, it's a different bubble you're put under, and most people drown in that bubble, and that is what I feel happens with people. But for me, I have been doing it since the beginning. Since I came in with a lot of hype. I backed that hype up. I talked the talk, and I walked the walk, and it has just grown and grown and grown. Now it is almost normality to me. I actually feel comfortable here now. I feel good in work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I listen to people when they leave. They want to go home to their kid. They want to go home to their wife. They want to go home to their comfort. This is my comfort. I don't want to be nowhere else.
Just being in the fire.
I mean, from the sounds of it, you really have no vice. Certain athletes have vice, whether it's alcohol, drugs, women, partying. It sounds like your vice is training, which it's never really a getaway. You know what I'm saying? You have to have something.
Well, I honestly have nothing. I don't want
buying expensive suits.
Shopping.
He
shops.
My favorite pastimes are shopping and counting.
Wait a minute. Now I gotta say, I've watched some fights. I've watched all your fights, and anytime there's been a lady in the room, and several times there've been a number of ladies, it's very interesting because they seem to like themselves a little Conor McGregor, and it's not. And by the way, that's not when you're in your suit. It's actually when you're just in your tighties. So you got to be dealing. You're 26, I think now.
I'm 26, young, successful, and full-blood Irish.
I've a
You
friend
know what
who
that
says-
is? That's the American dream right there.
He takes his pants off, and you just hear. I mean, how do you deal with all the female attention, man?
You know, it is what it is. It's part of the game. I have a long-term girlfriend, so, you know, it is what it is. I
got
focus
you.
on my craft.
That's all you got to say.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. That makes sense, bro.
Guys, like, it is what it is. It is. Moving on.
Anyway,
to the next subject.
moving on.
This is media.
I told Bryan this. I think when you first came into the UFC, you took a lot of heat, which good. You got attention. And I think a lot of fighters, we saw fighters call you out, Diego Sanchez, certain fighters call you out. And I got to be honest, you know, being in the UFC for 6 years now, and I told Bryan this right after I met you, it was a jealousy factor. I think guys are like, here's this dude, not American, coming in 145 pounds, getting all this attention. And I think people were upset, but it was just a jealousy thing. And because when we see your interviews, you see this stuff, you're like, come on, man, how cocky can you be? And then you're backing it up, tearing these dudes down. It's like, all right, well, he's pretty good, but everyone always says, but. And then a lot of people don't know this. I met you down at Firehouse Restaurant in Venice Beach, and there's a part of me like, I'm sure this dude's just like his interviews. He's going to be a dick. He's going to be super cocky. And I called Bryan right when I left you, and I said, all right, I'm a Conor McGregor fan. I got this guy's back from now on.
That's brilliant.
Because you were so genuine, and I'm not like this with fighters.
No, you're not.
I don't even like fighters on the show. But you were so genuine, and I was just like, the kid has it, man. He's a good person. And that's why you're going to go far. That's why I think you're going to go far. Because you meet a lot of other champions, I won't mention names, and you leave and you're just like, nah.
It's authentic. I think that's what you were saying, too.
There's nothing fake about it.
Yeah, you're very authentic. So I think that's what people resonate with. When I see you jump in Jose Aldo's face, or when I see you making these predictions, or when I hear you talk about what your destiny is, you believe it. And I think other fighters believe it, too.
Yeah.
And now they're dealing with trying not to believe it.
Maybe I agree. There is a jealousy factor and there is a bitterness, but bitterness will hold you back. It is that simple. You must, and we are human. We all look at certain times we feel these emotions, but you must overcome them, and you must take, if anything, rather than feeling bitter or jealous, take inspiration from it. Take that you can do it too, or if I put my head down, or if I do this. And then go from there with a belief in your own ability. Focus on your own ability rather than putting your energy into negative energy into someone that you cannot control. But unfortunately, the mid tier and the low tier will begrudge. It comes with success, but this is it. It is what it is.
You make me want to dress well, I'll tell you that. That's
Yeah,
the first
you
thing.
got this, man. Well, the Fire and the Kid got your back, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Can
a
we-
good dude, man. You
Yeah.
got this.
Can we
It's an honor
get-
to
can
come
we
on.
get
I love
just-
this set as well. It's really, really slick, man.
It's nice in
Yeah,
here.
really, really good.
It took me a long time to decorate this just for you. now, let me. We've got to go. We've got to wrap this up. We appreciate your time. Is there anything you'd like to say about the Jose Aldo Conor McGregor fight? Is there a prediction or
Why should we tune into this? Why should? Granted, listen, we know. I'm just saying. But as a common fan, my mom turns on the TV. Why should she buy this fight?
Well, exactly. This is one of these
I know.
contests that you just know. You do not. It does not have to be sold. I always hear Jose speaking about selling fights, and I am not trying to sell nothing. I am literally trying to rob him of everything. It is a fight that has intrigue all over it. You have a dominant champion that people believe is one of the pound for pound kings. You have a guy coming up that people think he's all talk. There's many reasons to tune in for the fight, but it's one of those fights where I actually do not have to say nothing. The fight simply sells itself.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We're rooting
can't
for you,
wait.
brother.
Thank you
got
so
this,
much.
man.
I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
brother.
Conor McGregor.
Firing the Kid, Conor McGregor.
We're out.
How about that Conor McGregor? That guy is fascinating, right? How good is he, Ev?
He was awesome. He's always on point, though. Tons of energy.
I just feel like you can tell it's natural to him. Like, it's not like he's not thinking about what he's going to say. It's just, that's him, man. That's him. And, I mean, Callen was excited, but he wasn't like he normally is. He was good. Callen was good.
He didn't suck his dick the entire time, which
He
was
did
nice.
not, which is nice. And I had nothing but good things to say about him. I mean, I brought up how, I think the biggest knock on Conor that everyone wants to know is if it goes to the ground, how his jiu-jitsu is. But when you talk to Conor and you do some research on the guy, his first coach was the first black belt in Ireland ever in jiu-jitsu. So he's going to probably focus on grappling with Conor. Conor having a stand-up background. So I assume you don't get to Conor's level without having a good understanding of grappling.
You also got Gunnar Nelson to go back and forth with.
That's true. Gunner's a beast on the ground.
Pretty good on the ground.
Really good. I thought he was good, man. Those things are always tough. What you guys don't realize is Conor wasn't in the official Fire and Kid studio here in Playa Vista at Fox Sports. We were on the big Fox lot because he was doing a media tour, and we were in is it Jay and Dan's studio?
Yeah.
Jay
There's
and
the Jay and Dan.
I want to
podcast. They're
say Jay and Silent Dan.
Jay and Silent Dan, the Fox Sports Live hosts.
Yeah, the Fox Sports Live hosts, and then they have a podcast they do once a week. It's a good show, man. I like those guys.
Yeah.
So we were at their studio, so it's always weird for us to go to a different studio. You never can understand the vibe. Like whenever we go on the road and we're using what's that device called we use?
The Zoom?
The Zoom. You never know, man. Because here it's comfortable. When guests come in here, we can make them comfortable. You can't get the vibe. Like I'll never do another calling guest again. Never.
It's
Unless Obama's like, listen, I want to come on the Fire and Kid. I'm like, you can phone in from the White House. We'll work that out. That's about it.
It's tough when we're talking to Evander Holyfield on probably a rotary phone from the 90s that he's using while he's driving through a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
It's a little tough.
Evander called us from the Motorola Sidekick from freaking 2002, and he was snorkeling. When I saw him that next weekend, just a couple days later, I was like, dang, man, that interview was rough. He's like, was it? I'm like, really rough, man. I was like, it's hard to hear you. It's just hard to understand when he gets you in studio. He's like, yeah, next time I'm in town. But he's basically like, yeah, next time I see you in town. Like, see ya. I don't think so.
Got barbecue sauce to slang.
Yeah, he does. The reason I'm doing this portion of the show by myself is the kid is missing. Nothing new. We can hold the fort down. But a lot of you guys are giving him a lot of flack on the internet, on Twitter, social media. He has a legit excuse. His friend Jeremy Burke, dad passed away, and that is Callen's true best friend. And he's in New York. Callen, grew up in New York. He says Afghanistan, all this stuff, but when I talked to his mom, they just said that he grew up in New York. So he's lying 90% of the time. So he has a legit reason. So don't be too harsh on the guy. I know I can be, but we got to give the guy a break a little bit. And then next, what I want to do is I'm going to read an email that was forwarded to me from one of our accounts that we use where fans can send emails, stuff like that. And this one is one that we definitely need to address. So I'm going to read the email, and then we'll take it from there. But this is, I get certain emails like these, but a couple of them you just can't skip over. You've got to acknowledge and take the time to kind of give these guys a shout out. So this is from James. I won't give his last name. You never know. James. But hey, I know this isn't going to be directed to who I need it to go to, but is there any way you could get this message or somehow relay it to Brendan Schaub? I would greatly appreciate it. My name is James. I'm an avid listener, and my brother is the biggest fan of the Fighter and the Kid. He's undergoing chemo and radiation for cancer. He's having a tough time with the battle, but has mentioned how much enjoyment he gets out of just listening to the Fighter and the Kid to pass the day while he's going through all these hard times. I was just kind of hoping, I know it's a long shot, they can maybe get a brief shout out on the air. A simple "keep fighting Jeff" or "keep fighting Jeff Rowe" would be a tremendous boost to his life. I really appreciate you taking the time to read this. This is funny. Also, we need more Master Kim shirts. Record sellout time, and I missed out. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So, my man, Jeff Lyons, keep fighting Jeff Rowe. When we get stuff like this is the least we can do. Whoever sent this email, send me the size that you guys wear, and we will make sure we get your Fighting a Kid package sent to you. We can't appreciate you guys enough. It's stuff like this that makes the show worth it. I can't even fathom what he's going through, but if we can somehow take your mind off what is going on in the real world with laughs and fight talk, then we're doing something right. So this one's for you, Jeff Rowe. Keep fighting, Jeff Rowe. Keep fighting, my man. Keep us posted. We love you from the Fighter and the Kid. I know Bryan would say the exact same thing. So keep on fighting. You're our boy, Blue. Let's do this. Current events with Evan the Body the Beard.
All right. First current event we're gonna knock on today is the new Entourage trailer came out yesterday. And it's a good 2.5 minutes of chaos. I believe you've seen it?
Yeah, yep, I've seen it. I'm a fan of Entourage. Are you?
I liked the first couple seasons. Kind of dropped off a little bit for me. But this trailer's got me. I'm 100% back in on the Entourage train now.
After seeing this trailer, I think you'd have to be. I think every single A-list celebrity is in the trailer, including athletes, some of the biggest stars. Your boy Grunk's in it.
Yep.
Gronkowski in the house. How crunk are you for that?
Extremely.
Extremely. Russell Wilson's in it in a nice tank, as Callen would say, a nice tank top with brown skin. Listen, Jeremy Piven's my boy, man, so whatever he does, I support. Jeremy's a big supporter of ours, so we'll have him on before that thing drops. But Entourage, man, it's it ended a while ago, right? I'm not hating on it, but it ended a while ago, right?
It's been a minute, yeah.
It's been a minute. I might have to go watch a couple of the seasons just to get back into things. I'll see that movie 100% though.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
My takeaway from that trailer though is they have so many cameos of so many celebrities across the board from sports, movies, TV, random political figures. I think Bill Clinton was probably going to be in there.
Yeah.
If I'm a Hollywood actor and I'm not in the Entourage movie,
feelings are hurt.
My feelings are hurt. Not only are my feelings hurt, my manager's out of a job. my agent, you're picking up trash now.
I agree.
You fucked up.
You're fired. You fucked up. If I'm Morgan Freeman, I'm not in that bitch, you're fired.
Oh yeah, you're gone.
For sure, get Morgan in there. Listen, it shows you where Ronda's at, man, because out of all those celebrities, Ronda's getting the most camera time there. And I know the plot. I'm just gonna ruin it for everybody. Just kidding.
Spoil the whole thing right now.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Anyways, what else you got, Ev?
Spoiler alert, they all die in the end.
Yeah.
Next one up, Brock Lesnar re-signing with WWE, not going to come back to the UFC.
I think it's a shame, man. From personally speaking, like, I'm a fan of Brock. For whatever reason, people were tweeting me like, "Oh, Brock's out. What do you think of that?" I'm a fan of Brock. What he did in the short amount of time is insane. So by him not coming back to the UFC, it hurts the sport a little bit. We've never ever had a star like Brock Lesnar. I don't think we ever will. If you think CM Punk's the savior, you're off. You're just off. Ronda's not a Brock Lesnar. She's close. But, people relate to the UFC with big dudes. When you think of UFC fighter, you think of Brock Lesnar. You think of a big, gnarly animal, just this beast destroying guys, and that's Brock Lesnar. He looks the part. So, as a member of the UFC, an employee of the UFC, it sucks. I wish he would come back. Not even, a potential fight with me and him. Who knows if that would ever happen? That'd been amazing, but who knows? But listen, with his health and his family and kids, stuff like that, WWE is probably a smarter choice, and he's making money there. So good luck to you, Brock. I'm a fan, man, and I wish him nothing but the best.
How many times a year does he compete in WWE now? Because I don't feel like it's a lot. He's not one of the guys that's doing...
He's not on the road,
yeah,
right?
He's not on the road. So I think he's probably only doing, maybe 10 times a year? 10 times a year, fake fighting for...
I heard his contract's insane.
20 minutes?
Yeah, I heard his contract's insane. And also, I don't think a lot of people know this. He was actually training to come back to the UFC. He was in a full camp training to come back, and he says he was in shape. He felt good, but just mentally, he was like, he was checked out. He's like, I don't want to compete. That's a smart dude, man. That's a super smart guy. Because most guys will be like, you know what? I bet I can do this. I can half-ass this. I've done this before and gotten through it. Nah, man, you do that in the UFC, you get embarrassed and beat up.
Especially now. I mean, the division is so much stronger than it was when he was fighting.
Trouble, man.
If you take 2 years off and you come back, you're fighting in a completely different world.
Different game. I mean, you look at...
It moves too fast.
He lost. So his first fight fought Frank Mir. He lost, right? He got submitted. And then he fought Heath Herring. He had a rematch with Frank Mir, beat the brakes off Frank. So Heath Herring, Frank Mir. And then he beat Randy Couture for the title, knocked Randy out in the second round, TKO'd. So he wasn't going through, killer's row. He wasn't, he's not going through, Frank Mir's a monster, and that was probably his toughest fight. And then you got to remember, he beat Shane Carwin. He had some tough matches, man. He's a monster. But the times have changed, man. The times have changed. You think of him like a guy going against a guy like a Travis Brown, who's impossible to take down, or, again, Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez, just these monsters, man. It'd be tough for him. I mean, look at Overeem. Overeem beat him easily, and you look at Overeem's struggling, but it's just the times change, man. Well, I wish Brock nothing but the best. I'm a fan. What else you got? Why are you laughing over here?
I was just looking through the Fighter and the Kid Instagram because I knew there was a question that I wanted to use for fan questions today from there, and I just saw someone submitted a creep life or a creep line.
Creep line.
So it submitted a pretty good creep line on there.
Really?
Yeah, we'll use that next time.
Love it.
I'm loving the creep line.
Creep line's gonna. I'm telling you, creep line's gonna take off, my man.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, creep line's the hotness.
I'm catching the faint whiff of a creep line shirt.
Yes. Oh, for sure. There'll be a creep line, and just make it like the Frighteners font. It says creep line. That'd be dope. Sick.
Yep. Okay, we'll go to one more current event. I saw this on TMZ.com the other day. The story is Lil Wayne was having a concert, shows up way, way late, as rappers do.
How late are we talking?
We're talking he didn't show up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you can't do that. That's just disrespectful.
Maybe not cool to the people that can't.
Realize who pays your bills, yes.
Yeah. So Lil Wayne shows up super late to this concert in New York or something, and one of the fans in the front row-ish, it wasn't too happy about him showing up late. Writes, "Fuck you, Lil Wayne," or "Fuck Lil Wayne" on his cell phone, and faces it towards the stage. Lil Wayne sees this and has to defend his street cred or something. I don't know how he's justifying this in his brain, but he gets his henchman, points the kid out, and about 2 minutes later, TMZ captured footage of this henchman coming off the stage after having talked to Lil Wayne, walking through the crowd, beelining straight for the kid, and knocking his ass out.
Dude, it's just some little white kid, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Do we know where this concert was at by chance?
It was. I want to say it was in New York.
Well, I watched the video. If you see the video, it's all like suburban white kids. What kid had the balls to go there? He's probably high off his ass. Put up "fuck you, Lil Wayne." Didn't think about didn't think there was going to be any repercussions, and then just the henchman's. The henchman looks like Brett Rogers. He literally just walks over, knocks the kid out cold, and the other white kids just keep on keeping on, my man.
It was in Florida. Florida.
I mean, what's worse, that or that happening, or you go to you're a heckler at a comic show at like Laugh Factory. Let's say Joe Rogan's at Laugh Factory, or Brian Callen, or Whitney Cummings, or any of these just monsters, Dane Cook, and he's just these savages on the mic, and you heckle a comic who's savvy, they will roast your ass like Nutty Professor. You remember when Nutty Professor got roasted? He said, "Who's sucking on whose titties tonight?" That was Dave Chappelle. Did you know that? That was Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle roasting Eddie Murphy in that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think
it'd be worse to get knocked out.
See, I'm going to disagree with you. Hot take coming in. I disagree with you on this. I think it's probably worse to get verbally annihilated in front of a crowd of, like, 100 people probably?
Especially if you're on a date.
If you're like a good one. Yeah, one, you're probably not alone. You're probably with a date.
100%.
Two, you can get into a fight without looking, and especially if it's a much bigger guy, it's a sucker punch like this situation is. There's a lot of excuses you can throw out there. Guy was way bigger than me. I never saw it coming.
I was drunk. I tripped.
I was drunk. I tripped. Whatever. The guy hits like a bitch anyway. I slipped.
I'm fine, bro.
There's no way. There's no rationalizing or getting out of being verbally just torn apart in front of like 100 people, because you know that if they're doing that to you, you probably asked. Like, you were the drunk guy in the crowd.
You asked for it.
You were acting like a dick, and you kind of got what you deserved.
I've seen some
laughing
people,
at you.
Yeah, I've seen some people just get dismantled, dissected. You gotta think, I'm at comedy clubs all the time with Callen, hang out in the back. So, I see Mark Maron, I see all these guys. And you get a heckler, I'm like, yes. Kill him. Okay, kill him. It's the best.
There's very few things in life that are funnier than seeing like a drunk heckler just get torn apart.
It's the best.
Because they feel so big and tough in the moment, taking on the big scary comedian.
Dude.
Like, you're about to get outwitted in every way by like 110-pound man.
It's awkward. I think getting beat up might be better. You might be right.
Yeah, I can justify in my brain, and
that kid's gonna get paid. That kid's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he'll sue Lil Wayne and his whole crew, and then they're gonna have to pay him. Hopefully he doesn't have a broken jaw or anything like that.
No.
But if you're this kid from Florida, you're the biggest Lil Wayne fan. It's 3 a.m. You're 17. You just got a fresh outfit from Hot Topic or PacSun. It's just a fresh ass outfit.
Is that where rap fans shop?
White kids. White suburban Florida kids, dude. PacSun, Hot Topic. Just got a fresh new fit. Maybe a nice Hurley tank top.
Oh.
Maybe some nice joggers. The next thing you know, you're knocked out on the ground. Not a Lil Wayne fan anymore.
That Hurley shirt's ruined.
Yeah. Hurley, better get another one. Better ask mom for $20. Yeah, not good either way.
Yeah, but that kid's going to get paid.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's definitely going to get paid.
Hopefully. Let's kick this to fan questions. Fan questions.
All right.
The Big Brown Breakdown solo without the kids. Some fan questions.
This is very special fan questions today.
This is extra special. Just Big Brown all alone. Lonely. I'm so lonely. Do you know that, Jim? Is that Akon?
See, oh, wow. I went
Akon.
Akon?
Do you know that song?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's from like a
old school album.
No, that's from like a really old, like famous play, isn't it?
It is, but then Akon remixed that shit.
So now it's Akon.
That kid in the PacSun with the bullshit Hurley shirt on and got knocked out. I didn't get knocked out, but that was me in Red Rocks with Akon. I was a fresh young Hurley hat on.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. jam out to Akon, Red Rocks.
Did you ever get into any trouble at concerts when you were a kid?
Never. I worked security at concerts in college. Toughest job I've ever had.
So you dealt with the trouble. You didn't cause it.
I dealt with the trouble. You know what the problem was? It wasn't like I worked with Method Man, Redman, Wu-Tang, Jay-Z, the biggest stars. You know the biggest problem was? You know what it was?
What?
Hillary Duff, Miley Cyrus, or there's one boy, Backstreet Boys. By far the toughest gig. Because these young chicks, they get to the front row and they smash each other towards the front trying to touch everyone. They smash each other. They get dehydrated. They pass out. Well, chicks pass out. You don't want them to get trampled. So they send Big Brown and his buddy Joe to grab these big old girls out of the crowd and pull them through the,
These big old girls? These big old 12-year-olds?
Dude, monster. Those were the toughest days. Let's do this.
That's weird.
Big Brown breakdown.
All right, let's jump straight into fan questions. This first one's going to come from Brian Shaw. It's a topic a lot of people have asked about. Are you still considering dropping to 205 or not? What's going on in the fight game for Big Brown?
The fight game. I know we usually don't address this, right?
Not very often.
Not very often.
Pretty much never.
Do you have never that we can address that? Good question. As far as the fight game goes, dealt with some injuries with my neck, went back into training. It gave me some issues, so we decided to take a little more time off. The plan is, and I will approve this, signed, sealed, delivered. The plan is 205, and I will fight in 2015 at 205 light heavyweight. Potential matchups, no idea, no clue. I'm sure you guys have a better idea than me. That's the plan. As far as training, I've been part of Lyoto Machida's camp. I've been helping him out. He's getting ready for Luke Rockhold. So I've just been grappling with him, really. Haven't been sparring at all. That's it, man. Trying out some new coaches. That's the plan. Been focused on the show, but I still work out every single day. Don't get it twisted. When you see someone's Instagram, and I post about firing the kid all the time, it's because it goes a long way with firing the kid and, me promoting the firing kid. But when you guys see that stuff, I'm training. This is only 2 hours out of my day. The rest of the time I'm training or working on my game. Don't get it twisted, son. So we'll see. But light heavyweight is the plan, people. Appreciate the support. This will be a fun one. You imagine when I walk out? Can you imagine when I win, looking over at Rogan, being like, I think you'd be surprised. I'm going to get on the mic. I'm going to get on the mic. I'm going to stare Rogan directly in the eyes and go, are you surprised? That's what I'm going to do. That's all I think about. It'll be great, though. But listen, I've never had time off either. I've never had time off. Since I was 10 years old, I've been grinding in camp, multi-sports, just nonstop. So for me to take a little break is not a big deal. And this podcast is one of the smartest things I've ever done because it allows me to take those breaks and not be stressed financially. So to other athletes out there, find another source of income or, don't leave it up to the company to market yourself. That's my advice.
All right, let's jump to the next one. This one comes from Chris Pagliuca. He's competing at Naga for the first time and is skipping novice, going straight to beginner. Been training for a year. Any advice? #guard player. Also, I'm walking between 155 to 158 right now. Plan on competing at 50. Should I do a real cut down to 40, or will 50 be okay?
No, especially for his first one in that division, 50 is going to be fine. Then when you get more serious, I'd consider cutting more weight.
He's training for a year.
Training for a year,
going straight to beginner Naga.
I'm not mad at it. The thing is, beginner, novice, all that stuff. It's about experience. You're not taking over the world. You're not becoming world champion winning Naga as a beginner, novice. So for him, I would think about. It's probably too late, but for him, I'd think about where am I going to get the most matches. You want to get experience at this. So when you become higher up and you become advanced, and black belt level, brown black belt level, you're ready to go. So whatever's going to give you the most experience, do it. And also, don't put that much stress on yourself in these beginner novice divisions. Just go out and have fun, man. If you're a guard guy, run out there, pull guard, have fun with it. see in real time when it counts how your guard game works. You're going to find out real quick that setup you've been using in the gym, if it's legit or not. You're going to find out real quick. That's the best part about it. No one's going to ask you, hey, what was your record as a beginner in these jiu-jitsu tournaments? Said no one ever. So have fun with it, man. That's my advice. Don't put pressure on yourself. Go out and do your game. If it works, great. If not, back to the drawing board. Who cares? Sign up for the next one.
There you go. Any grappling tournaments coming up in your future?
I'd like to. You know me, I love some jiu-jitsu.
I know you do.
Metamoris isn't calling. Metamoris is not calling. Cyborg Barnett, though, that's a big one. I think Halleck is just, he's I don't know what's going on there, but what can you do? I would do Metamoris again. I would do Naga, Pan Ams. I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah, Ben Henderson looks like he has a great time doing all this.
He does, right?
Yeah, he's always crushing those things.
He is. I would love to, man.
All right,
That's
cool.
definitely something to consider.
Next one up is from, how do you pronounce this? Oh, Matt Mitrione. What's it like? What's it feel like to miss me so badly? What's up with Matt? I love that guy.
I know. He was in town just a couple of weeks ago. We went to lunch, kicked it, game planned some stuff. He has a big fight. Obviously, he was on the show. He has his fight with Ben Rothwell. He's out here all the time. He trains with Barnett. He trains with Coach Neil Malison. Yeah, he trains with him. So he's out here all the time. Listen, Matt knows he has a home here. Whenever he's in town, he's on the show. I love Matt. Matt's my boy. He tweeted out the other day a picture from the Ultimate Fighter, me, or Matt, Kimbo, Roy, and myself.
I saw that.
Pretty classic. Those were the days. Kurt Angle's supposed to be on the Ultimate Fighter with us.
That year?
Yep.
Huh.
They offered Kurt Angle to be the 16th contestant on that show, and he said he just wasn't ready.
So he would have been in place of Roy Nelson? Because Roy was like was the surprise. Oh no, it was Kimbo. Kimbo was the surprise guy, not Roy. So
I don't. Someone would got.
Were they basically just banking on one of those two being available to do it?
No, I think it would have been Kimbo, Roy, and Kurt Angle. We're still the biggest season ever. Whatever. We're still the biggest season ever, rating wise. But if you would have had Kurt Angle on there, what? He'd been a tough one to deal with.
You think so?
His wrestling pedigree.
So many miles on him, though.
He's older.
Like, I feel like his neck is in the same condition as like the little parakeet in Dumb and Dumber. It's pretty much broken.
It's true. It's trouble.
You poke him and he breaks his neck.
I agree, especially when you have to fight 3 times in about 6 weeks, and I fought twice in 2 weeks. So
that thing's not holding up.
You better be ready to go. That's probably why I didn't do it. He's a beast though, wrestling wise, like legit wrestling. I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking legit freestyle wrestling. He's a monster.
Yeah, Olympic gold.
Yeah, man.
With a broken freaking neck.
Beast.
Yep.
What else you got?
This one comes from Carlitos. Who will be your celebrity QB for the Los Angeles TMZs? There's only one answer for this.
Were you going to assume I say Tim?
Who? Oh, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Oh, your friend Tim Tebow?
Yeah. Who did you think I was going to say?
There's only, to me, there's one. Actually, no. You know what? I'll give you 2 answers. There's Keanu Reeves or James Van Der Beek. Varsity Blues or The Replacements. It has to be based on an actual movie. Johnny Moxon.
Probably go with Johnny Moxon. Or I'm going to throw you a curveball.
All right.
My boy Jamie Foxx.
Oh, steaming Willie Beeman?
Willie Beeman.
Got the ladies
screaming. Yeah, Willie Beeman's a beast. I'll take Willie Beeman. Jamie Foxx. He has to be near 50 now, though, right?
He looks awesome.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Black guys age so much better than white guys.
It's not fucking fair.
Asians age well, too.
Yeah.
Asians age super well until they hit about 80, and then it's just like, whew.
They look exactly the same from 16 to 80.
Yeah,
and then 80 hits, and they look 1,000.
And they're like 1,000 troll years old. Just not good. And then white people, it just depends. Some age good, certain guys do, and then with white people, it's a toss-up.
It's a lot of...
Black guys, it's not. Black guys, hands down, age better than anyone.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. It's if you're going to be like drinking, smoking, it's like if white guy, you'll get what you put into it. If you don't treat yourself like shit, you'll probably end up looking all right.
Look at Callen, though, man. Damn near 50. Kid looks good. I mean, he's losing his hair.
That's part of the game, though.
At what point does Callen start wearing a wig?
I think we're at that point.
You think?
I think
we're close?
I think that point passed 6 months ago.
Oh, really? I know his hair's looking worse and worse.
He's one step away from like LeBron.
He wears headband.
Just getting brutal hair plugs. Half his head is gone from sweating out the plugs at the end of the game.
I don't. Yeah. At what point do we just call it Fighter in the Callen? I mean, when he starts wearing wigs.
I mean, I wouldn't hate.
It's gonna be a sad day, man. That's gonna be a sad day.
He rolls in with like a Farrah Fawcett,
just a
giant
straight
flowing mane. Tries to pass it off. Tries to pretend like nothing's different.
I mean, because this show will still be going in 10 years. Callen's gonna be. He'll be damn near 60. It's crazy, right?
You haven't thought of that until just now, did you?
It crossed my mind.
The show goes 10
I'm
years.
I'm constantly looking for replacements if he dies. I have about 30 substitute teachers to fill in for Callen. Next question.
All right. This one comes from Kurt Eric. If you had to build a UFC card for UFC 200, what would it be? Let's just go with a main, a co-main, and just a wild one.
A wild one. UFC 200. I'm assuming it's going to be in Madison Square Garden.
You can put it, this is your card. Put it wherever you want. If you want to put it in Antarctica.
That'd be dope, but
on a glacier.
Wouldn't sell out great. I'm going to go UFC 200, Madison Square Garden, and I got John Jones versus Cain Velasquez as a super fight. I got Ronda Rousey versus Cyborg at 135. I got, for my third big fight, CM Punk versus some poor soul who's not ready.
So you want to set up CM Punk for victory then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think what's going to be a blockbuster hit. You got Ronda Cyborg, huge. You got Cain, John, biggest fight of all time. I would like McGregor on there. He's our biggest star. Let's not get it twisted. Listen, I was thinking about it. There's buzz around Manny and Floyd Mayweather. You're crazy if you don't think Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor is a better, bigger fight than that fight. You're crazy. They're both in their prime. Conor's basically the Muhammad Ali of the UFC as far as talking goes. He can talk his way in any situation. He's a stud. He has skills. Jose Aldo's one of the best champs we've ever had. So you have two guys in their prime, basically in their prime, fighting in Vegas in their prime. Pacquiao versus Mayweather should have happened, 6 years ago? 5 years ago? So I think it's more of everyone's like, oh, the fight's going to happen. It's a relief. So the anticipation of the fight's cool, but when the fight actually happens, I think people are going to be disappointed. I really do. A, it's going to be a decision, if not a draw to make more money. B, it's crooked as shit. So if you said, listen, Brendan, you can only watch one fight this year, Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor in Vegas, or Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather in Vegas, I'm siding with UFC all day. All day. More entertaining fight, better personalities.
I 100% agree with everything you just said.
Booyah.
But,
Hashtag headlines.
Hashtag headlines indeed. All right, this is an interesting one. This is from Kayvon Halzadeh. It's a hell of a last name. Do cornermen have too much influence during a fight? They give strategy, game plans, etc. Shouldn't it be more of a 1 versus 1?
No, you're giving cornermen too much credit. I fought on the Ultimate Fighter without corners. It's very rare that I can hear a corner where it like changes something in the fight. It's very, very rare. Usually I listen to the other team's corner. I can hear them. Like when I fought Chris Tuschischer, I heard his cornerman, who is Brock Lesnar's head coach, going, jab with him. Jab with him. And I was like, dear God, throw a jab, see what happens. And I ended up coming over the top and knocking him out with a right hand. So, listen, corners are great. Corners for me are there to make that week, the most stressful time, feel normal and just make things like a steady flow, like make things just all right. It's a very stressful time. They're there to go over the game plan, talk to you. They know how to speak to you. But as far as them being life and death in the cage, no, I shouldn't say life and death, but winning and losing in the cage, you're giving the corner too much credit. Again, maybe I just haven't had a good corner. But this comes from my experience. Maybe I haven't. I know Mark Henry and Frankie Edgar's corner, he's a game changer. Frankie Edgar could not fight without Mark Henry. I feel like I could fight. And I feel like, a little bit I've been fighting on my own. But I feel like Frankie Edgar and maybe Showtime Pettis, certain guys couldn't fight without their coaches. I haven't had that. And I was just talking about 2 world champs, so. Well.
Maybe.
Case solved, Schaub.
Got to get myself a corner.
Big Brown's big problem. All right, carry on.
All right, we'll wrap on this last one. This last one, fun one. This is from Elena Olson. Who are you most like in It's Always Sunny? What about Bryan and Evan? Pick one out for all 3 of you.
Oh man, I would say Evan is like Mac. I'd say you're more like Mac. For some reason, my brother looks like Mac. Reminds me of Mac too. So that's tough. If we're going just based off personalities, I'd say you're more like Mac. We don't really have Whitney Cummings like Sweet D. She's like D. Yeah, Whitney Cummings
is actually kind of thinking about it very much like D.
Yeah, Whitney is Sweet D. Mac, Charlie would be. I'd probably say Charlie would be me. If we're doing the group, Charlie's probably me, and then Bryan's Dennis. 100% Bryan's Dennis.
Yeah, Bryan's definitely Dennis.
Bryan's Dennis.
See, Bryan's Dennis. I think you're Mac.
You think?
I think I'm Charlie.
That's fun. That's cool. We both want to be Charlie. Oh, no, that's cool. I think I'm more like Charlie, but we'll figure it out. I can see that. Mac's always, when he's bulking, I'm bulking, bro.
Yeah.
He was just on Mark Maron's podcast. He's great on there.
Rob McElhenney was?
Yeah. Listen to it. It's dope. What WTF with Mark Maron? Mac is on there. It's good. He's building some giant house in Brentwood. He's killing it. You know, they're on like their 10th season.
No, I did not.
10th season, and he created it. You know that? And their first season, it didn't go well. So Fox came to them and was like, "Listen, man, we got to do something. We're gonna toss on a big celebrity. We want Danny DeVito." And the 3 of them were like, "No, man, he's not part of this." And they're like, just hear him out. And he said he drove, and he goes, "What? The way Danny DeVito is on the show is exactly how he is in real life." So Mac was like, "Yeah, we're on 100%. Once we met him, he's on." That show's killing it. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That should do it with Big Brown Breakdown. Solo fan questions. I think we carried this ship, Ev. I think we can do this. If you're listening, Callen, don't get it twisted.
There's already a substitute teacher in the room.
Yes.
For every show.
For every show. Don't mess with me, Callen. Again, don't give Callen too much crap, though. His best friend's dad died, and Callen's very, very close with him, so let's send Callen some love if we can. Just wrapping up here. The no chicken heads graphic. Yeah, someone sent that to Callen. It's great. It's on my Instagram, the no chicken heads artwork. Listen, we love the artwork. We hang it up in the studio. More the merrier. We love it. iTunes reviews. I think we're around 800. Like I said, when we get to 1,000, we're giving away signed UFC gloves, shorts, Fighting Kids shirts. I will pick 5 people who write, obviously, and 100% for sure, good reviews. So help us out. Go to iTunes. Leave a review on the Fighting the Kid account. It helps us out. TheFightingTheKidShop.com. Next week, I will keep you guys posted. Follow me on Instagram, @Brendan Schaub. We will be dropping the I Think You'd Be Surprised shirts in 2 color combos and the original OG Gangster Abbott Kenny Fight Club Gray Fighting the Kid t-shirts. This has been one hell of an episode. Conor McGregor, Bryan Callen, Evan the Beard, Big Brown. This is Fighting the Kid. We're out.